Hi, good morning. I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 290. We're here live in Southwest Florida waiting on the sun to rise over the buildings and the trees to the east, which is not likely to happen this morning. And this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. It is a very cold, stormy morning. I have seen so many crazy things this morning and I can't wait to tell you about it. If you're joining me live, please say hello and let me know if you're crafting this morning. Good morning, Judy. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining live. So on the way here, when I dropped Marlon at tennis, good morning, Edna. Hi, Annie. Hi, Christy. I saw 4 rainbows. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Christy. I already said hi. So I saw one giant rainbow that was just glowing over this dark, gray, cloudy sky. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And we saw the whole rainbow. Wow, that's cool. Then when I looked closer, on the one side, you could see 4 rainbows side by side. And then on the other side, and so you saw the main solid rainbow. Then on the so on the right-hand side, you see 3 more on the inside. Then when you go for the full rainbow to the other side, on the outside on that side, a little distance away was a second big rainbow. And I was like, so did I see 5 rainbows today? Like, I don't even know how to process that. I did not find the pot of gold, Judy. I was hoping that was here at the beach. But no, it's raining here. It's misting. There's definitely raindrops falling. I got several photos, Grace, and I shared them to Instagram stories, so you can see all of them there. I don't really think the photos did it justice, obviously. Cell phone photos don't do nature justice sometimes. You can't shoot the moon, you can't get the vibrancy of a rainbow. I can't anyway, but wow. I think you'll see a little bit of it. Yeah, I would really like to find the pot of gold, Lisa. That would be amazing. But, oh, and then when I got here, the birds have been talking to me. So I always say good morning to the birds when I get here. I'm like, hi guys, how you doing? I look totally crazy if anybody's watching me. And I don't care, as you know. And so I'm down here and they're all lined up right in front of my blanket when I first sit down. I'm like, oh, well, hi guys, how you doing? And every time I talked, they would talk back. It was so cute. It was just like, so what does that mean? It encouraged me. So obviously I kept talking to them and there was a little bit of a banter for a while. It was adorable. So now they saw the camera come on. They're like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to make sure that you sound totally crazy. We're not going to, we're not going to back up the story at all. I know, I sound ridiculous. I don't care. It's so fun. It was so fun. Hi Kim, thanks for joining live. Good morning. So I have some fun yarn things to show you this morning too. Hi Vera, good morning. Hi Karen. Yeah, Karen, I think I saw 4 or 5 at the same time, which is just crazy. I've seen 2 and possibly 3 before, but I've never seen 4 and at the same time seen a second one in the same spot. I just thought that was absolutely crazy. I don't even know I don't even know how to process it yet. Hi Audrey, thanks for joining live. If anybody's crafting this morning, please let me know what you're working on. I think somebody said they were working on toffee right now. I am debating trying my hand at making homemade kind bars. Does everybody know what a kind bar is? It's a type of energy bar that you can buy in the grocery store, the gas station, the convenience store. They're a little bit pricey and they're mostly made of nuts and seeds and a little bit of a puffed cereal, I think, in there. And they're covered in a sweet coating that's not sticky to your fingers and it holds it together. And I think I'm guessing that it is some sort of a syrup that you boil to a hard boil stage. And how fun would it be to make your own combinations of fruits and nuts and things and cover it with a coating and make your own. So I am debating trying my hand at homemade kind bars this week. Oh, I didn't mention it's only 45 degrees out here too. So on top of everything else, I'm so excited about my nature adventures this morning that I think it's keeping me warm, but my hands are freezing. Anyway, where was I going with all that? We're going to talk about yarn. Kim's salivating there. Good. That's good. I don't want my food ideas to sound gross, so I'd rather you salivate. Good morning, Naomi. Thanks for joining live. Yeah, it's extremely damp and cold. It's starting to rain, so it's a little misty. It's not pouring or anything, otherwise I'd be running, but Mara's making one of my trivets today. Wonderful. I see a lot of people are making the food items from 80 Handmade Gifts. That's awesome. Good morning, Cindy. I think a lot of people have been really happy with my toffee recipe. I've seen lots of people making the baklava balls and even substituting different ingredients in there for the dates. What else have I seen? A lot of people are enjoying the cracker recipes. I know, Karen, I should wear fingerless gloves when it's cold. I have not found them in unpacking yet. Okay, so I have an update on the mandala from yesterday. This is the one that I did in the 5 passion colors. So we went with this is all done in Biso baby yarn, for those of you who weren't with us yesterday. So that one is peach, princess pink, orchid, diva, and violet. Then peach again, then princess pink, then orchid, then diva, then violet. I don't know how much I'm going to keep growing this because I really want to go find what size ring at the store is going to work with it. I'm guessing I'm going to end up going with a 10 or 12 or 14 inch ring, depending on how much I can stretch it. I do have one more round to go in the pattern, and if I needed to keep going, I would. So I wanted to show you this color combination to start with. So that's the 5 pinky purple colors in the 15 color palette from Biso baby yarn, and I'm using the free pattern on my website that is called the Serene Mandala, and it comes with a chart, written instructions, and video instructions. And this morning I've started on, oh, nope, not going to tell you that one yet. Hold on. So I mentioned yesterday that I'm going to make macrame feathers for these mandalas, and I wanted to show you I made the first one last night. How cool is this? So this is done in Biso baby yarn, and what you do, and I'm going to do a tutorial on this, and it is so easy. I have not trimmed it properly, so don't pay close attention to the shape. It still needs a good haircut. But what you do is you make this long strip and clip it to a board or something, and then you make a simple square knot with your fringes all the way down, and then you brush out the plies of the yarn. So here's what the yarn looks like in its yarn form, which is all plied together, and then when you use a comb or a hairbrush, you brush all those plies out and it turns it into this feather form. So now imagine when this is hung and you hang these feathers from the fringe at the bottom. Okay, ignore the loose ends, those need to get woven in. I know they're distracting. I'll pull them out of the way, but gorgeous, right? It's going to be amazing. So I think for this one I'm going to do at least one feather in all of the colors. I think this would be a great time to add beads or shells or any other thing like that, depending on what theme you're going with, because there's so many different ways you can combine 5 colors for any theme. So now that I mentioned that, I want to show you the next one I'm doing, because I'm going to do them in several colors just to show you. So I started a next one. This one's going to be for my kitchen, I think, and this one's going to go real beachy theme. So I started with Snowflake, then I went to Platinum, and then I'm going to go to, or then I went to Prince Blue, and then I'm going to go to Splash. Let's see if I can hold all 5, and then I'm going to go to Turquoise. So imagine if I can find some sea glass beads or something that looks like sea glass beads for this one. Won't this be gorgeous to do these? Still don't have them all 5. Hold on. I can do this. I can do it. Hold on. Okay, here's the 5. So that's what these 5 will look like together. Doesn't that look a lot like the sky behind me too? And even if you wanted to just do 3 colors, I think those 3 would be really beautiful together too. but I think adding the 2 blue greens is going to give me a lot of different ways to add beads and stuff to it. And so far I'm not doing beads in the mandala, but you could certainly add beads to the mandala pattern as well. But I'm thinking to add beads and feathery things in the fringe. I love those colors too, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, so then if you wanted to do this for a baby's room, you could go with all the pastels, or you could go and do any sort of the rainbow spectrums. Yeah, you guys didn't get notifications because I didn't schedule the podcast till about 10 minutes before I went live. I have to do the whole thing from my phone. I can't do it from my computer, which means that I can't sit there and do a month at a time, and it all has to be done manually, and sometimes it's just, you know, I just haven't figured out a way to consistently do it and do it far in advance, so I end up doing 1 or 2 or a couple at a time, and I know it's a pain if I end up scheduling it late, but that's why. It's just one of those tasks that I find to be hard to stay consistent on. I can't explain it. Yeah, some days, some things just tip the scales. I don't know why, and this is one thing that tips the scale for me sometimes. On a good week, on Sunday night, I've scheduled all 6 for the week. But because I have to type everything manually on my phone, and the time, I don't know, it sounds so petty when I say it now, but there are times when it just wipes me out completely. Hi Leanne, thanks for joining live. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're signed up for notifications, you'll definitely get notified when I've gone live. And you know it's going to be 7:45 a.m. my time. There's that. Not that I want to make excuses for myself, but just to help people when I do blow it. Oh, speech recognition might help, yes. Because I have to tell you, it is so difficult sometimes just to write create, share, inspire, the number, podcast, my name, without my phone suggesting stupid words that I have to go back and then correct. Then I have to do the date and the time. Remember, see, here's the other thing that gets confusing to me. When I'm on my phone, it's like, okay, what number goes with what date? Like, so what's today, the 11th? So that would mean for the rest of the week, I have to remember to count, what are we at, 289 today? Then I'd have to remember that 290 is on the 12th, 291 is on the 13th, 292 is on the 14th. Remember all this in my head as I'm dealing with the autocorrect. It's just, sometimes it's hard. And then there are days when I'm doing that and I feel like I'm on it. Okay, today's 290. See, Grace, I'm already messing it up. There's something about this that drives me nuts. So then I'm getting in a groove sometimes, and then YouTube app won't let me schedule more than 1 at a time. Okay, so I thought I was in a groove and then I can't do it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll come back and try it later. And then by that, and then I forgot already. I know, it's petty, silly little problems, but there are sometimes it's just, ugh. Anyway, I've tried to do it on my computer and it doesn't show up properly. So it would be so easy if I could just copy and paste, but it won't let me do it there either. So I don't know what the solution is. It does sound like a pain, but it's important to do because I know everybody likes to come into the chat room early, and if it's up there and you don't want to sign up for notifications, which I understand, you can click to be reminded for that episode. So I know there's lots of reasons to have them there for the convenience of the audience. So there, now I've just talked way too much on it. Tell me what you use the all for. It's in your Amazon shop. Oh, I did not see all of it. Okay. The all should be in my Amazon shop. If it's not, let me know and I will put it in there. I have not started using it yet, but I did buy it, and we will be working on it to do the crochet on edging on the felt for baby blankets. Karen's working on peach and greens for her daughter's room. I can show you the peaches of peach and green. Oh, okay. So let's see. So this would be pastel-y pink and green, peach and green. This is color peach and this is color mint. But then if you went with turquoise or even splash, I think those colors are pretty with the peach too. And then you could do, all four of them would be pretty together. You could also go into some pink with it. I really like this pink and peach together. I think orchid would be really pretty with the peach. I think if I were to, oh, they're all three pretty together. So then you could go with more pink and peach and less green. Those would all be pretty together too. To pull five together, this looks like a cute mandala too. How would that be for a mandala? That's super cute. Without the strings. Yeah, pink, peach, and orchid are super pretty together. Yep, very much like candy, I agree. Did I bring red? You know what, the one color I forgot was red this morning, maybe more. I wanted to show you some rainbow spectrums. Well, let's use Diva in place of the red. So I wanted to show you some different, in fact, if we're gonna go do if you want to do rainbow for a baby room and do more of a pastel-y rainbow, I would use orchid with peach. Ah, I forgot yellow too. I could have sworn I grabbed them. All right, we'll do rainbow tomorrow. I'm missing two colors. Well, let's keep going. So then you could go with this one or mint. We're missing too many colors. It's not going to work. No, we're missing too many colors. We'll do rainbow tomorrow. I thought I brought everything. Yeah, Joe, it'd be real easy to incorporate seashells into the fringe. First of all, you can find seashells that naturally already have a hole in them, or I gotta check and see if it's in my Amazon shop. I found an amazing tool on Amazon last year. It's a hand crank drill. And it's made for crafts, specifically for things like drilling a beading hole into a seashell. So it hand cranks like this, and it will gently drill a hole into a seashell, because a power drill would be way too strong. When I was making a dream catcher, a wind chime for Marlon's bathroom, I took a starfish, and I wanted to drill holes into it to crochet into it and hang it. And I ended up using, you know, the type of screw that's meant for hanging a plant from the ceiling? So it's got a screw bit on the bottom and then a hook. Well, that was a good handle for me. So I sat there and tore my hand up and hand drilled a hole into each point of the starfish, and it worked really well, but it was very difficult to do. And then I found the drilling tool, and I'm going to double check that it's in my Amazon shop in the crafting folder, because if it's not, it needs to be in there. It's an amazing tool and would be absolutely awesome for drilling holes into seashells, to turn them into beads, to attach them to the fringe of mandalas. That was a really long sentence. Good morning, Rebecca. Thanks for joining live. Does anybody have any questions for me right now? Yeah, we'll double check as soon as the broadcast is over and make sure that it's in there. If not, I will definitely add it. It's an amazing tool. So if you want to give me an hour after the broadcast, I'll make sure it's in it. Yep, I have mentioned it before, KB, because I bought it after I hand drilled those holes with a screw into the starfish, and I knew I needed it, and it's amazing. So I'm hoping to get to a store to look at the different sizes. Yeah, you know what, necessity's the mother of invention, Kim, and I didn't have the drill when I wanted to make holes in that starfish, so I did figure out a way to do it, but now that I've found a better way to do it, I would prefer to do it with the proper tool this time, as long as it's still not a power tool. Good morning, Gabrielle, thanks for joining live. Lisa's already got a large size hoop for her mandala. Awesome. Bye, Melissa. Have a great day. All right, I'm going to get back to working on my beachy mandala while we chat. Let's see, what's my next row? I gotta remember what color goes next too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's this one. Going to splash. In this next round, someone mentioned yesterday how to get started on reading patterns. I know, reading charts. I know I've done a lot of videos on reading charts. And I do have a playlist of some of my chart videos. That would be a great place to start. But if you think that I need to do a whole series on it, we could do that. I just feel like I've been doing tutorials on reading the charts as the pattern calls for it. But if anybody thinks that I need to do something specifically for chart reading, I mean, I'm all ears about suggestions. So Sherry learned how to read charts for me. Wonderful. I'm so glad, because charts are so helpful. I think when you're learning to crochet, I think the rate in which you learn is a certain rate without charts, and I think with charts, your rate of learning quickens very much. I think that you can learn quicker and learn more. Let's see, yeah, learn quicker. What are those birds? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought I saw a dolphin. False alarm. I think that with charts you can learn new techniques faster. You can learn new patterns faster. I think the brain's ability to read a chart is more efficient than the way the brain reads the written instructions. Not that written instructions aren't great too. Sometimes they are very helpful for learning something new. But when you learn to read charts, I think it speeds up the learning process. Does everybody agree, disagree? Carmen's working on her knit project, and then she's going to learn how to crochet. Wonderful. What are you going to make first? You know what, Leanne? It only looks like it's a lot. She's saying chart reading looks intimidating. It only looks like a lot until you understand it. Once you understand it, it actually isn't that difficult to understand. Because like you've always got the key up here. Is this backwards or frontwards today? You've got this key up here that tells you what each symbol is going to mean in the chart. When you're working in the round, the chart always goes clockwise. Yes, it goes clockwise. Oh, good, it's frontwise. That's great. So, as long as you know that it works from the center out, unless otherwise instructed, there are exceptions to that rule. You work from the center out and you work clockwise. Generally, chart makers change the color per round to help you understand where one round ends and another one begins, or they have numbers written for the rounds. But once you understand what the actual symbols mean and know that you read from the center out and read from clockwise, it helps to understand the chart a lot better. And what's really, really cool about crochet charts, separate from knit charts, is that they are anatomically correct. So if you set your work down next to the chart, you can actually start to see how the chart and the stitches, how the symbols on the chart and the shape of the stitches is actually very similar. Isn't that amazing how similar they actually look? I find that to be a very helpful tool, especially as a beginner, or just if you're confused about where you made a mistake. I think it's very, very helpful to set your work down and set it side by side next to the chart. I think oftentimes because of that, because it's anatomically correct, I think it's very helpful to set them side by side and look for the differences. Because when you find those differences, that's generally where your mistake's going to be. Hi, Pamela. Feel better, Gail. Wow, the sky is crazy. Because it's so cold, I couldn't bear sitting in the wet sand, so I'm at the very edge of where the sand's dry. It does not feel that dry. It's a little damp still, but it's not as wet as it would be down there. That's why we're not sitting closer to the water. Charts helped Pamela make the tender Delilah cowl. That's awesome. The sky looks really pretty. I agree, Christy. Oh, I should show you the whole beach too. Somebody asked why they haven't seen Dolly the Wonder Wagon lately, and that's just because I've been trying to go pretty light at the beach. I've needed so much space in my car for packing and moving that I just kind of packed her up, but she'll be back. Here's the beach to the south of us. The visibility is pretty weak today, and that's understandable because of the misty rain and stormy day. But you see there's quite a few people bundled up and walking, which is nice to see. There's the sun coming up. Cabana Dan's is closed up, not surprising. I can't see anybody renting beach chairs today. Here's the beach. That guy's speaking Hebrew over there. All right, so there's the beach to the north of us. You can see some really pretty pink clouds over there too. Visibility is not so great, but not so bad either. Really beautiful colors though. And back to our view here, which has a lot of stormy clouds in the sky. So we'll see what's gonna happen, but the low was 45, and I think we have a high of 60 today or something like that. Yeah, Joni, I could do that. She's saying I could lay out a shower curtain before I lay out my blanket. There's just something, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it requires too many items to come down to the beach, it will suck all the fun out of it for me. I like to travel light. It's enough work to grab everything that I am going to grab. And yes, a waterproof blanket of some kind would be great, but I don't know. I'm always trying to lighten my load. There were times when I used to bring a lot more stuff with me, and I find now that it just gets too cumbersome. But you're right, something waterproof would be great. So maybe even just changing to a blanket that happened to be waterproof on one side, or making it waterproof on one side. But the idea of bringing 2 blankets somehow doesn't appeal to me, even though it makes so much sense. Yes, your idea is absolutely logical and makes a lot of sense, and I don't know why. No, I don't know why I don't do it. Yeah, I should somehow attach something to the back of the blanket. That is a great idea. Oh, Rebecca made a pair of the Kelly earrings, and the person she gave it to cried because she was so excited. That's sweet. Yes, Kim, keep it simple. Absolutely. That's what I need to do, because it is, not that I'm complaining, don't take this the wrong way, but it is a commitment to come here 6 days a week. It is a commitment to schedule the podcast 6 days a week. It is a commitment to come up with new content and have new things to do, and it's a commitment. And there's a balance between making it too much and not enough, and so the more things that I can keep simple about it, the better. And when something becomes too much, I have to try to scale it back, because it's important to me to stay consistent, but it's got to be something that isn't all-consuming too. It's an interesting balance, and as we're approaching 300 episodes and approaching our 1-year anniversary, December 14th will be our 1-year anniversary of doing the podcast, and we'll hit 300 episodes in a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks. So I'm very proud of the fact that I have remained consistent and accountable for a whole year and 300 episodes. But it's certainly been a learning process to make sure that it stays interesting and it stays relevant, and it stays something that I can maintain and do. Because at times it can be a lot of work. So yes, keeping it simple is the most important part. Anytime I can keep something simple, it allows me to stay energized to keep going. When things get not so simple, it gets harder. So like when I've had trouble with parking, when I've had trouble with stalkers, when I've had trouble with all sorts of different things, it weighs on me and it makes things harder. You know, I've had people threatening to, anyway, don't even want to go there. But I've had problems with parking and figuring out where to go, and I don't know, that stuff, it adds to the components of staying consistent, that's for sure. But it's amazing, and it's amazing that we've done this for a year, and I hope that we do many, many more. Yes, it weighs you down, Judy, and anything that weighs you down and stresses you out shows up on camera. I'm not the kind of person that can hide things very well, so when I'm stressed out or worried or whatever, it's obvious, and I can't possibly make the show as special or as energizing as I want to when things are weighing it down. So anything I can do to keep it more simple and streamlined is better. Anyway, enough of that. We're out of time. Oh, Ava, I've had stalkers for years. Nothing new. Nothing new, unfortunately. Some are consistent, some aren't consistent. Oh, thanks, Kim. Yeah, there's no point in talking about them because it only adds to their energy, so anyway. Anyway, let's take this last minute here to look out at this magnificent view. Soak in the colors, the sounds of the waves. If you get a chance, head over to my Instagram if you want to see those amazing rainbows I saw this morning. They really were incredible. They'll be in my story. Thanks so much, everybody, for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise, the beautiful colors, the sounds of the waves, chatting with me and everyone else. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.